I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com. We're here with Delegate Jill P Carter. How are you?
I'm fine, Donnie. Thanks. How are you?
Good. What's happening here in Annapolis? How's your session going?
My session's going fine, but there are a lot of things happening, and I just hope the public knows about it. One of the big issues today that I'm sponsoring along with Senator Buse over in the Senate from Prince George's County is the big mortgage foreclosure moratorium legislation. And I know there's a lot of things talked about, but unless we have a foreclosure moratorium, people are still going to get screwed out of their houses while we're trying to work this out. So I think that's the number one fundamental thing we have to deal with. Also, you may or may not know, I believe the elected school board bill hearing is today for Baltimore City. And in our committee, we have a lot of drunk and drug driving issues today. We'll be here. We were here last night until after 9. We'll be here. We always work the latest, longest, hardest, and smartest committee in Annapolis. And you may or may not know, just in addition to that, I'm chair of the Taser subcommittee. And you know there's been a lot of issue with tasers and police use and misuse of tasers. And so we're going to finally work that legislation out. We're going to put some limits on maybe some of the police use of it, tasers, and also require training, adequate training. And I think the biggest thing is, just as, and you are the first to get this scoop, nobody knows this yet because we haven't finalized the vote yet. But what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that administratively, the same way that the police has to file a report when they shoot a gun, that they would have to do the same thing if they use a taser. So that's, just another check and balance on that system.
Okay. Anything else about this 425th session of the Maryland General Assembly?
I am vehemently opposed, as many members of the Black Caucus and others outside of Annapolis. If you know anything about DNA, I am vehemently opposed to the DNA bill. And I'm going to use every fiber of my being to try to kill it. It's nothing personal, but I fundamentally believe in a presumption of innocence. I do not believe that people arrested should be forced to have a DNA sample taken, and I think the implications are far-reaching and will be devastating. I think that we're moving in the wrong direction with it, and I believe that pretty soon they'll suggest that we DNA sample some people at birth. I'm very much against that. So I hope the public understands what's going on with that DNA thing and helps work to kill it. At any rate, even if you think it's a good thing, we need to study it more. We have no evidence that it works anywhere where it's being tried. And we're not in a rush because the state currently is just getting over a major 2-year backlog of the DNA samples it had.
Anything about public education? Baltimore City schools, Prince George's County schools.
Well, there are a lot of pieces of, I always call them good pieces of legislation. They do small steps, but there's elected school board bill today, like I told you, for Baltimore City. I've got a bill that's coming up early next month. I think March 5th is a hearing that will require voter education, everything from understanding the importance of voting to understanding the process at the local, state, and federal levels, and then also registration. And that's something I think is important. It's certainly not the only thing we need to teach in Baltimore, but it devastates me and stuns me whenever I go to talk to one of the high schools or middle schools, and the kids just have no idea who I am or what I do or what any delegate does. The difference between a delegate, a senator, a council person, the difference between a federal congressperson and their local council person. So I think it's very important that they learn that.
Good deal. Thank you very much, Delegate Jill P Carter, here in Annapolis. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com.